Welcome back to Hitman 2016. I am Brandon Carey, and today we will be going through Episode 5, Colorado.
Good morning, 47. We have a lead on the Shadow client. ICA White Hats have traced the anonymous data received by our clients to one Olivia Hall, brilliant young hacktivist and suspect in a dozen cases of cyber vandalism. Using onion routing with state-of-the-art encryption, Hall went to a lot of trouble to stay untraceable. She is good, but we are better. Her digital trail has led us to a remote farm in Colorado, where satellite footage has revealed what appears to be the training camp for a private militia, led by an already registered target, Sean Rose, Australian environmental terrorist and explosives expert wanted for a series of public bombings. Rose was spotted near the scene of Thomas Cross's kidnapping, which makes him our prime suspect for the Shadow client. Spurred by Eric Soders, the ICA Board of Directors has asked us to infiltrate the farm and eliminate Sean Rose, along with 3 other prominent militia members. Ezra Berg, retired Mossad interrogator, Penelope Graves, former Interpol anti-terror analyst, and finally Maya Parvati, former assassin and gunrunner for the Tamil Tigers. I'll be honest with you, 47. I consider Eric Soder's reasoning hasty and ill-advised. Now, we cannot go against the wishes of the board, but we can conduct our own investigation. Whether a direct threat to the ICA or not, we need to know the Shadow client's true agenda. I will leave you to prepare.
So as you can see, we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different targets. And we'll have an additional objective for this mission once those 4 are eliminated. So this mission is very unique for both that reason and for one other reason we'll get to once the mission begins. And each one of these targets has their own set of opportunities that you can use to take them down. And they're given a couple opportunities to take care of 2 targets at once in some situations. As usual, we're bringing out our preferred equipment of the lockpick and coin. And one of the commenters of some of the past videos mentioned before that if you use the modern lethal syringe on someone and they're seen after they die, it's an accident kill, which means that you don't lose points for their body being discovered. So I decided to try that out for this run to see if I could get any success out of that, and I don't think I did during this particular run. But later on, I did actually find a couple of places where you could make use of the modern lethal syringe, even though I still think overall the poison vial is a superior item, because you can just put it in food and just run away real fast.
Welcome to Colorado, 47. The militia has taken up HQ at an old apricot farm and appear to be training for a series of coordinated strikes, ranging from cyber attacks to full-blown guerrilla warfare. The Shadow client appears to unite specialists and radicals from all over the map, mercenaries and terrorists, hackers and spies joined by an unknown common cause. Satellite scans indicate that the command room is below ground inside an old tornado shelter. Only Rose appears to have access, however, so to get inside, you will need to get creative. This environment is hostile and highly alert, so tread carefully. Good luck, 47.
So the very first thing you'll notice when we've started this mission is that this is a hostile area. There is no location in this mission where if you are caught in your suit, you will be able to sneak past someone. You will walk past them. If they see you, they will shoot you on sight. Which means the very first thing we want to do is get a disguise for this mission. Fortunately, we still have a couple of idiots right here to handle that. And since I realized that opportunities were turned on, I turned them off again because that's how I like to play the game. I actually don't remember why they were turned on in the first place, but
What the hell are you talking about? I was
simple
just at the
fix.
security station watching the feeds. There's this creepy guy.
So we are going to lure one of those people over here by turning off the generator. And once he turns it back on, we will be free to knock him out and take his clothes.
And on.
That was the weird thing about the marketing for this game, this episode, is that IO was very adamant about, oh no, you're in a hostile area at all times, so it'll be harder. It'll be a lot harder for you. It's going to be the most challenging episode yet. And it is challenging. It's more challenging than the other ones, but that's none of the reason why it is more challenging, because it's a hostile area for your suit, but you just get it under disguise and you're fine. In a game where that is the main... That is the main core gameplay, is getting disguises and sneaking around as other people. It's really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. And now that we have a militia disguise, we have a little more free reign in this map. We still gotta pay attention to people who will see through our disguise, but it's not any more or less taxing than any other map. And by listening to that conversation, we have learned that there is a hostage in the mansion of this map, and that Sean Rose has been building a explosive watch battery for a brand of watch that is suspiciously similar to the one that he wears, that he's planning to use for another operation. And there is a disguise over in this area that I want. And this will help me get into the manor proper. This elite militia disguise.
The grunts are here.
And we're just gathering some more information about our target.
I mean, let's be honest, none of us are exactly God's finest. Don't worry about it.
So, since this seems to be the center of operations, this is probably the best place to start looking for clues on how to take care of our targets. And what we're about to sneak into is Sean Rose's room. We got super lucky, because if we had spent a second longer over there, we would have gotten caught. So now we have the Nitroglycerin and his explosive watch battery. And it has been so long since I took this footage, I don't remember what we actually did with it.
Desk.
Or if we actually used that opportunity at all. And the reason I'm in this room right now is because the evidence is right there. The evidence for recordings. So, if we can destroy that now, that means we don't risk getting seen on camera at any point during the mission. Ever. Which means, since we're already here, we might as well take that step in getting rid of the evidence. Just gotta get rid of that guy, so he doesn't see us. Or we do something else. Not really sure what I was thinking.
So I just found out that Parvati was a Tamil tiger. So
Oh, I think I was going for to replace the watch, because I know that Sean Rose Sean Rose has OCD, so he will continuously attempt to wash and rewash his hands several times throughout the mission, and I was hoping to catch him here and replace his watch battery, but a little too slow in the draw.
Can you believe she lost that to a grenade fired by one of the guys here? Happened before the boss.
That would be Burgess.
Raid on a Hanson oil freighter.
He's point man in the Mexico operation. Huh. That clipped by a ram or something? He trains with battery.
I wish I knew about the point man opportunity before I recorded this footage, because I would have totally done it that way if I known.
So if we had someone we had to pacify,
You look like you've done.
Alright, so... Again, we're still in this kind of information gathering phase of the mission where the very first thing you want to do is try to find out what your target's routines are and how you can manipulate them to your advantage. And since we seem to have a bit of a lull right now, I want to talk about something that's a little unrelated to the episode itself, but more relevant to Hitman as a whole. And it's just the way that I've seen gaming news sites cover this game. Because the weird thing about this episodic Hitman is that it gives us, as critics and game reviewers and whatnot, time to really analyze one episode at a time in pretty vivid detail.
Yeah.
If this was a product that was released all at once, we probably would not be able to so carefully analyze each level of the game one at a time.
Ever heard of it?
We wouldn't really be able to get down and dirty comparing Sapienza to the more closed-off Paris, to the crowds of Morocco, and here in Colorado. We wouldn't be able to do these kind of comparisons to see both how IO got better at level design as the series progressed, and to just see how they've what kind of game they've made overall. Like, as a whole, the episodic model has really made criticism of this game a lot easier, because it gives you more time to digest each episode one at a time instead of having to rush through 6 episodes in the span of like a week to do a review on it.
Investigating possible disturbance. Over.
So you get to really take your time and explore each mission to its fullest. And there we finally got around to destroying the evidence. But with this game and the way they've handled Hitman 2016, it's been really nice to see people be able to focus on one aspect of the game at a time. They get to focus on the Paris level for a month or two, and focus on Sapienza, then focus on Morocco, etc., etc.
Makes you look extra suspicious. Just saying.
And we get a more holistic view of how this game has kind of evolved over the course of the year or so that it's been released. really nice, especially since even I had... Even when this game was first announced, even I was really irritated by the idea of an episodic Hitman game. Of course, when you think about it, since each Hitman level is kind of like wholly divorced, even in the best games like Blood Money, like each level is wholly divorced from the rest of the game, it makes sense that the episodic model would work for Hitman. I just didn't think so at the time because that was back in the day when the only thing that was episodic was a Telltale game, or Life is Strange, or something along those lines. So even I at the time was like, this wouldn't work.
It's possible that I never asked.
But it totally does. It totally fits with the gameplay model of Hitman.
Plain as vanilla. That's the idea.
Even though I do think the episodic nature does cause some problems, I think I would like a couple of levels that were overall fairly small. Like, I think the tutorial missions were pretty robust, despite how small they were, and I would love to see more of those. I understand that if you're going to wait a month between levels for a new one to come out, then you're going to want it to be a pretty significant update. You're not going to want like a small map. So it's been weird to see how Hitman's been working incredibly well with the episodic release, but also how it's been kind of affected by it for both better and worse. And I think the discourse for this series has been overall much more involved and much more positive because it's episodic, because we have a month to really get into a map or to really get to know what's been changed in the game, and to see how the game has been patched and evolved over the course of half of the year or so it's been out. It's been really nice for a critical standpoint. And I'm really glad this ended up being the success that it is, because I really want to see more games like this. And I do want to see a Season 2 of this, and it seems like that is what we're going to get. Because it seems like this game has actually done very, very well for IO.